Some people don't fear silence. They fear fake conversations. They fear emotional noise. They fear wasting energy on people who don't understand depth. That's why they choose to be alone, not because they can't connect, but because they connect too deeply, and that makes them different. This isn't shyness. This isn't trauma. This is a psychological personality type most people never understand. People who like being alone are often judged unfairly. They're called rude, cold, antisocial, or emotionally distant. Society tends to reward loudness, constant interaction, and visibility, so anyone who steps back automatically feels suspicious. But psychology shows something very different. People who enjoy solitude usually have stronger inner worlds, higher emotional awareness, and deeper mental processing. They don't reject people. They reject surface-level living. Today, we'll explore the psychology of people who like to be alone and why solitude is not a weakness, but a form of strength. People who like being alone live from the inside out. Their focus is on thoughts, values, emotions, and meaning. They don't depend on the outside world to define who they are. Psychologically, this means their identity is self-generated, not socially constructed. They don't need constant feedback to know who they are. That's why they don't panic when they're alone. Silence doesn't threaten them. Isolation doesn't feel like abandonment. Their mind already feels occupied, active, and complete. Where others feel emptiness, they feel clarity. These people often experience emotions more intensely than average. Joy feels deeper. Sadness feels heavier. Frustration lingers longer. Excitement overstimulates them faster. Because of this emotional sensitivity, constant interaction can overwhelm their nervous system. Solitude becomes a way to regulate emotions. It allows their brain to slow down, process feelings properly, and return to balance. Instead of reacting loudly or impulsively, they respond quietly and thoughtfully. This is not emotional weakness, it's advanced emotional regulation. Most people avoid being alone because they fear their own thoughts. Silence brings unresolved emotions, insecurities, and uncomfortable questions to the surface. Distraction becomes a coping mechanism. Noise becomes protection. People who like solitude do the opposite. They sit with discomfort. They face unresolved feelings. They reflect on mistakes, fears, and contradictions. Psychologically, this builds mental resilience, emotional honesty, and self-trust. They don't escape themselves. They confront themselves. And that changes a person deeply. People who enjoy being alone rarely chase attention. They don't feel the urge to constantly post, explain, or perform. They don't depend on likes, messages, or social validation to feel valuable. Their confidence comes from clarity, not popularity. They would rather be misunderstood than fake. They would rather be alone than emotionally crowded. This mindset often makes them look distant, but in reality, it makes them internally stable. Another defining trait is boundaries. People who like being alone know where they end and others begin. They don't overshare. They don't overcommit. They don't tolerate emotional chaos for the sake of connection. Psychologically, this shows self-respect and emotional discipline. They protect their energy like something valuable because it is. They understand that not every interaction deserves access to their inner world. Being alone gives their brain space to think clearly, space to connect ideas, space to reflect without interruption. Many people who enjoy solitude show higher levels of creativity, strategic thinking, and problem-solving ability. Silence allows patterns to emerge. It allows insights to form. It allows ideas to mature. While others are distracted by noise, their mind quietly organizes information in the background. This is why many thinkers, writers, planners, and innovators naturally seek solitude. People who like being alone don't want many people around them. They want honesty. They want depth. They want emotional safety. Psychologically, this selectiveness comes from awareness. They know that not every connection is healthy and not every person deserves access. When they choose someone, it's intentional. When they open up, it's meaningful. When they commit, it's real. This makes their relationships fewer but stronger. They are also highly sensitive to unnecessary drama. Gossip, arguments, emotional manipulation, and chaotic dynamics drain them quickly. Their nervous system reacts strongly to instability, so they choose peace over excitement, calm over chaos. This doesn't mean they lack emotion. It means they respect emotion too much to waste it on conflict that leads nowhere. People who like being alone also tend to be emotionally independent. They don't rely heavily on others for happiness or stability. They can eat alone, think alone, sit alone, exist alone. This independence doesn't make them cold, it makes them resilient. They choose people. They don't need people to survive. Silence turns them into observers. When they're quiet, they notice things others miss: inconsistencies in words, shifts in tone, hidden intentions, emotional undercurrents. Because of this awareness, they trust slowly, speak carefully, and reveal themselves gradually. Their quiet nature often hides sharp perception. Many people underestimate them until they realize how much they've been noticing all along. Social interaction drains them. Solitude restores them. This is not a preference, it's biological. Their mental energy is consumed faster by stimulation. Alone time acts like maintenance. It resets their system. For them, being alone isn't emptiness, it's recovery, it's balance, it's clarity. They don't explain themselves to everyone. They've learned that not everyone will understand them and not everyone needs to. Psychologically, this shows strong self-acceptance. They don't bend to fit society's expectations. They stay real, even if it costs connection, and that takes strength. People who like being alone are not escaping life. They are choosing depth over noise, meaning over chaos, truth over performance. In a world addicted to attention, they choose awareness, and that choice makes them powerful. If this psychology described you like this video, if you know someone who loves solitude, share this with them. And if you want more deep psychology content, subscribe to the channel. Because silence often hides the strongest minds.